present you episode 68 from Dr. Prabhu Kumaraju. And the title for this evening is Water and Salt. Water and salt. Please take note. Dr. Prabhu is an ENT specialist and human biowax analyst. He is also a consultant to hospitals and doctors, a member of world-renowned medical groups. Dr. Prabhu has also contributed much to many medical journals and magazines. A water researcher himself, having come to the knowledge of this terrace water, he has acknowledged it to be so amazing and has helped many people and encouraged every home, if necessary, you are affordable to own this terrace water device. Having him with us every Sunday evening is so privileged and honored. Thank you, Doctor. And for your general info, we have different languages Zoom every evening, providing every one of us here to share more of this knowledge of terrace water to many other people, even in any parts of the globe. Do take note and share, okay? And also, the company has printed many languages flyers, okay? Can you all see these flyers? Okay, different languages, which you can order from the company office. Okay, and before we invite Doctor to share this evening topic, let's make sure the friends you invited to join us this evening are present in this Zoom. Do let them know, okay? And please mute your mic so that there'll be no interruption. Dress a little smart so that we can see your beautiful, handsome appearance. Thank you. So let's invite Dr. Prabhu Kumaraju. Good evening, Doctor.
Very good evening.
Good evening.
Madam Lee, one second. I'm just adjusting my mic. Okay. Are you able to hear me clearly?
Yes,
Madam
sure.
Lee?
Yes, very clear. Thank you, Doctor.
Me clearly?
Yes, okay.
I can't hear your voice. You muted,
you
I
can't hear
think.
my voice?
Can you hear my voice clear?
Yes,
You can
I
put
can.
your thumbs up.
I can. Yes.
All right. Fantastic. Okay, very, very good evening to all the Terahertz family members, and once again back with another episode of Salt and Water. Now, most of us, I think, as human beings, we all definitely would consume a little bit of salt in our food. It is mandatory, and then we have been regularly doing that. But after some time, especially when your blood pressure goes up, and then when you go and check with your doctor, the doctor will tell you you have to reduce your salt. Now, this is something which is very, very important. Then I thought, okay, let me add on to this. And then probably with this today's episode, you all will be able to understand salt is important, but at the same time, you need to know how to balance your salt intake. Now, how is water important in this area is for the salt to go inside your cell, of course, you need a water. And at the end of the day, for you to balance your electrolyte balances and the cellular internal balance between the sodium and the potassium and the chlorides, you need water. That is where very beautifully we have our terahertz resonated water, which will definitely help us to understand a much more easier way. But there is a very famous and well-known quote saying that anyway, whenever you are 30 or 40 plus, you have to reduce the intake of three whites. The three things which is in white color. One is your white rice, one is your white salt, and the other one is your white sugar. These three things they say you are supposed to reduce. And of course, if you're 50 plus, definitely you need to. Now, what kind of salt are we supposed to reduce? Now, this is where I would rather come inside and then probably let you know what you have to do. Of course, this is my background. Now, this is a very, very simple question to every one of you. What you need to ask yourself is, number one, how many of you know your body fully and then you listen to your body's requirement? This is something not many of us understand, but this is something I would definitely require every one of you to look into yourself, especially when your body is speaking to you. It's, for example, suddenly you will feel like, eating some fruits. Now what does it mean is, basically your body is telling you it needs that nutrient for it to consume, to be consumed, and then those are the nutrients which is required by the cell. Now, how come the cell knows that you are supposed to? Now, these are all very intricate and a complicated mechanism where the creator has created for you in such a manner that you, without asking, it will automatically happen inside. Now, for example, if you look at a pregnant woman, sometime, during the first trimester or the first 3 months, they feel like eating more of sour things like mangoes. Now, why is that? When they are looking at, in fact, our body is asking for iron, is asking for calcium and other vitamins, but mainly iron and calcium. So when you look at a pregnant lady, they would be eating food or fruits which is automatically high in iron content. This is a natural way of body asking for it. Now, this is something very, very naturally your body will tend to ask. Now, this is where you need to be in a position to understand what your body is speaking to. Now, many of you would have probably faced a situation. Now, after drinking Terahertz water, you would have heard from people, I have not had any kind of changes, number one. Number two, yeah, I had the water, but I had this kind of problem, this kind of allergy came out. Now, just tell me, why should your body react just for drinking a water? Is the water so bad that it is creating a problem for you? Or you never have prepared your body for accepting just a water, even though it is a resonated water. The basic properties are different from a normal water, but definitely when you look at the natural spring water or your resources, it is definitely adaptable to your body. But this water is, because we as human beings are resonating, it's much more easier for you to absorb inside your cell. That is an advantage. Now, why do we have to go into a fine tuning? If you're talking about nanotechnology, many of us would have noticed that today people are talking about nanotechnology, a small molecule technology, and today light technology. All these are coming. Why is that? It's not that 50 years ago people were eating. Now people were eating, of course, bigger molecular food, and the water molecule also was bigger, and then our body was able to balance it, and we were able to live a healthy lifestyle. But the only problem you and me, we are all facing today, number one, the lead poisoning, the lead which is coming from the environment, which is quite high. Whether you like it or not, if you are living in an urban city like Kuala Lumpur or Singapore or any other major cities, urban cities, you are eligible for this lead poisoning. Second one is your mercury poisoning. Third is your cadmium. Cadmium comes from basically from everything, and additionally, one of the major contributor factor is smoking. Smoking, your cigarettes actually emit a lot of cadmium coming out of it. So if you're a smoker, you're eligible to have cadmium inside your body. And one of the major organ which your cadmium will love to go and sit is in your kidney glomeruli. That means in the filtration system, it will just go and sit down there. And imagine if you are 2 million filtration system you have, and then your filtration of around 200,000 gets blocked. Most of the time you won't even know that it is blocked, and then you won't even feel that you're having a kidney issue. But there is something happening. Now, this is something where you and I, we can prevent it, especially the smoking part, you can prevent it. But if you're talking about vehicular pollution, yes, we can prevent it. Probably if we all choose electrical vehicles or maybe other modalities of transport, maybe yes, we may be contributing to a little more healthy lifestyle for our future. But at the end of the day, our journey has to walk, and with our journey, we have to move forward. Now, how do we do that? If at all the poisoning of the lead is coming inside, the only way for your body to throw it out is your liver needs to be very, very healthy. Number one. Number two, your kidneys needs to be very, very healthy so that it can throw it out. Other than that, of course, your intestine needs to be very, very healthy so that it can also help to prevent all the poison entering back into your system. Now, saying this, what is happening is you should understand that you need to listen to your body. To listen to your body, you need to be silent for a few minutes. Probably, if you ask me, is around 15 minutes to 30 minutes. Switch off the lights. You don't even have to listen to the music. Just sit down, then close your eyes, then concentrate on your breath. One of the most easiest way for you to look into your own body is, most of the time either the visual disturbance is there or the auditory disturbance is there, and that's how your mind is always working. So the only way for you to shut your mind down is just sit down and concentrate on your breathing. Just see the breath going inside and coming out. Try this out. Do this for 15 minutes. So, what happens is you cut down all the external noises from being listened or from seeing also. Now, when you do this slowly, gradually, maybe over a period of time, you will start listening to your body. The moment you start listening to your body, there is an inner voice which will tell you what to do, what need to be done, and what are the things can happen. Everything your inside, they know. They are very, very intelligent. In fact, people will call it as a gut feeling, like there is something wrong is going to happen, and you will well in advance know that. Now, all these are all only when you start listening to your body. So here, what my humble request to every one of you is, we can go on looking at outside to complain and outside to blame and outside to go on telling it's not good or whatever the unfavorable compliments we can give. But at the end of the day, it's your body which is very, very important, and it needs to be taken care, and it needs to be listened first. The moment you do that, your body knows. If you're going to drink water, the body knows that you're going to drink Terra's water, and the body will do what it is necessary for it to take, whether it's a nutrition or whether it's going to throw the waste products. Everything is taken care by your body. Just imagine, you think just because you have a brain inside and you think you're an intelligent being because you do a lot of things outside for the external situation, maybe getting a degree, maybe you are building something, all these are all external. But there are lot of intelligent beings inside your body, which is yourself. They are much more intelligent. They know what to do. They know how to take things inside. If things are wrong, they know what to do, and alternative methods, they know what to do. Just imagine if you just drink less of water itself, your kidneys start slowing down, because the body knows automatically when urine is not supposed to be sent out. That means it has to retain the water within the body. So who is giving a command to your body? It's an automatic mechanism. Your body is so intelligent, it will shut down everything and then retain the water for hydration of your organs and as well as the cellular activity. Now, when the body is so intelligent, what is your problem? Your problem is only you need to understand, listen to your body. Listen to your body for what it speaks to you. It could be your eating habits, it could be your going out or it could be wearing your shirt, it could be choosing which road you're going to take. Everything happens when you're in a silent mode, everything starts falling in place. Now, what is this? What you see in the picture here is different types of salt. Salt is something which we all use it in our cooking every day in and out. But after some stage, of course, we need to bring down and we need to start looking at the healthy salt which is available. And then what we need to do, as I proceed, I will be able. Now, salt and water are something which is a part of everyday life in our human journey. Now, have you seen animals taking salt separately? In fact, if you go to the veterinary doctor, they will say you should not add salt to whatever you cook and put forth for, especially for your dogs and cats and all. You are not supposed to use salt. But for human beings, we are using salt. Now, that is the reason many times we do face little problems because we are overdoing things. See, if you are balanced in your life, whether you're eating salt or eating sugar or eating your white rice or eating your whatever you're doing, if it is a balanced one, your body has no issues at all. Another situation, as I was telling to you, is when you don't listen to your body, what you were doing at 20 years, do not try to do when you are 60 years. It's different actually. Unless you have prepared your body to be the same as 20 years, then you can repeat it when you're 60 years. But most of us are not. We have never prepared our body to be balanced at 60 years. So this is where a lot of injuries take place. Especially I've seen a lot of men, after 50 years they want to go play shuttlecock. Shuttlecock is not a game for a person after 50 years, especially when you're looking at the injuries. Imagine your knee joint, imagine your ankle joint. Definitely, when you jump and smash the shuttlecock, definitely you're causing an injury. Your shoulder gets injured. Now, why do you want to do all this when we have not practiced it? Okay, fine. Maybe you feel this game is nice. You want to play. No issues. You can go and play, but you need to play a very feminine type of game. That means you just have to hit the shuttlecock, and then it is just basically for fun. Number one. Number two, basically, you need to increase your heart rate, and basically, all your muscles need to be active. Fine. That is very, very fine. But what happens when the moment you start playing a game, of course, the energy comes there that you want to smash this one, you want to jump, all these will automatically happen. Now, this is where injury will take place. So you have to be a little careful in what kind of games you choose, especially after 50 years. Now, without salt, many functions of the cell gets disrupted. Okay, now without water also many function gets disrupted. Imagine, you do not take salt also is a problem, and you do not take water also is a problem. So what is the basic situation is, it is a balance between the two is very, very important. Now, it's a tangible journey together. That means as a human being, you need water, you need salt, you have to. Now, this is where the secret is. What kind of salt are you going to take, especially when we are 50 plus? It's much more easier for me to guide you. Now, what are the different kinds of salt available? Very simple: the table salt, the white salt, which is nothing but an evaporated seawater. Then automatically the salt is left over, and that has been packed and comes as table salt. Now, the sodium content, the basically salt, if you look at it, is the sodium content in it. Now, the second range of thing what you see is something called bamboo salt. Then there is something called purple bamboo salt, which is nothing but a 9-burn. Then you have the kosher salt, then you have the Himalayan salt, and you have the Himalayan black salt, then you have sea salt, then Celtic salt, then flower of salt from France, then flake salt also, which is low minerals, then black Hawaiian salt, red Hawaiian salt, and smoke salt. Now, among all this, if at all, if you think which is the uh, number one, or maybe which you can choose, which is much more economical and it is ideally can be used, is your Himalayan salt. Himalayan salt is cheaper, and definitely it is good for your situation because it contains 84 minerals. That's the reason Himalayan salt, other than the sodium, it contains 84 minerals. But when you look down, there is something called Himalayan black salt, which is nothing but burnt in a furnace with charcoal and herbs. Now this is something like, I would say, something like a bamboo salt, but the ingredients what they use to prepare with Himalayan black salt is different. But more or less, when you see, the taste will be more like a bamboo salt. But bamboo salt is something which is actually prepared by filling up the bamboo with the salt and then putting into a furnace with a temperature of around 1000 to 1200 degrees temperature in the furnace, and then it will burn for a period of 8 hours. That is one burn. If you do that, then they will take it out, once again break down the salt, refill it in another bamboo shoot, and then once again fill it up, and then once again burn it in the put it in the furnace and burn it at 1000 degrees and for 8 hours. This is a two burn. Now when you do this same system, 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours into 6 times, that means it's going to be 48 hours before you get the 6 burn salt. But the final 6 burn salt, sixth burning will be a minimum temperature of around 1300 to 1500 degrees. That is the highest temperature. That is when actually the real salt, which was originally the normal salt, will change its property into medicinal salt. So a bamboo salt is nothing but a medicinal salt. After burning it for 6 times, it becomes a medicinal salt. This is where when you consume bamboo salt on a regular basis, your blood pressure gets controlled, your diabetes get controlled, your acid-base balance become under control. So there are a lot of good benefits of this particular bamboo salt when you're consuming. And the most beautiful part is you would have heard of alkaline water, right? With alkaline water, the ORP also will be minus actually. With the bamboo salt, if you can mix 1 teaspoon of bamboo salt in a glass of water, you will be able to see that the ORP can go up to minus 400. That means it is an antioxidant. This bamboo salt water is an antioxidant. So if you look at the benefits, is definitely bamboo salt will be definitely a second choice for you. But the pricing wise, if you see, it is somewhere between 80 to 90 ringgits. If you're looking at a good quality bamboo salt, there are a lot of bamboo salts available in the market, but you have to look at whether they are all certified by the FDA and the other laboratories with no heavy metals. This is something you all have to look into, because heavy metals is something which would be there in the salt, and then if they do not take proper measures to prevent the heavy metals inside, you won't even know, because the pricing will be cheaper. Maybe what is $80, you might be paying only 40 ringgits, and then at the end of the day, what will happen is little bit of heavy metals will be there inside, and then there is no certification. Now, this is something which you all have to look into. If at all, if you are buying any bamboo salt, look for some good certification, good reviews. And then, of course, the company who is doing it, you have to look into that. And then, of course, second one would be your bamboo salt. The third one, if you see, the purple bamboo salt is much more expensive. It's almost 1,000 ringgits per kg. The normal 6 burn bamboo salt will be around 400 ringgits kg for 1 kg. Now, purple bamboo salt is nothing but 9 times they burn. Now, this is something has got a very high antioxidant, and this can go up to even minus 600 to minus 800 ORP. That means it can be given in a case where people have a lot of oxidative stress. Now, this is where you just mix it in water and you can drink. And this bamboo salt, you can add it in any fruit juices. You can add to your coffee or tea or whatever you want. You can just add a little bit of pinch of bamboo salt. The taste will be a little different, but definitely it's a good measure. For example, if you're taking coffee and if you're going to add a little bit of bamboo salt to it, and when you're drinking it, definitely the acidity will be much less, because the moment you add the bamboo salt, it makes it a little bit of alkaline, so you won't have the acidity. So when you're looking at the different salt, the Himalayan salt is easily available here in Malaysia, so I think you can go for it. Other than that, bamboo salt also is available, but try avoid using the normal salt which is normally available, the white color salt. If you can avoid it, will be better. But of course, people will be asking next is iodized salt, which is available in the market. Which one, doctor, to take? I would say iodized salt is definitely would be a choice, because many times we do have iodine deficiency. So that time, if it is iodized salt, is much better. But better to check your hair analysis or the quantum analysis to know if you have iodine deficiency. If there is no iodine deficiency, you don't need to go for an iodide salt. Now, what is this salt? Is basically the main ingredient of it is sodium hydrochloride. Okay, sodium chloride. Okay, now here what is very important is this sodium is very important for you to understand, that it helps you to stay hydrated. Because of the salt, the water will get inside your cell. So to stay better hydrated, your body needs a delicate balance of sodium and potassium. Now for this, definitely you need to have the water as well. While you are taking the salt, you need to have a proper water intake as well. Other than the sodium, the uses where you're talking about hydration, it is definitely useful for your vascular health. And then it is very important for your balancing of your electrolytes and prevents muscle cramping. Now, when there is a proper sodium and potassium situation in your cell level, definitely everything is balanced. But many of you would have noticed suddenly your calf muscle will be cramping and you feel a little pain down there. And you just drink a tender coconut and see, I think things will be sorted out. Why? Because tender coconut has got a lot of potassium, and then the cramp will be reduced. So you need to understand that, especially when you have a cramp and then you just try to drink tender coconut, and if your cramp comes down, that means your potassium was less. Many of us would notice that your blood potassium will be normal, but your cellular potassium will be less. Now, this is where when collectively less of potassium in your cell, your muscle goes into a crampy situation and it gets cramped. It's painful sometimes. So you need to balance that as well. Definitely, sodium is very, very important for your nervous system for conduction of your impulses. That means information in nerve conduction. It's very, very important to have a appropriate amount of sodium inside your body. Other than that, definitely you need to, it improves your sleep, and also it helps in the, as I told you, in the muscle function. It definitely helps you. Now in this photo, if you, in this slide, if you see what are the food that contain sodium, so you also should understand, other than eating your salt normally in your food, regular food, if you are going to eat all these from outside, all the processed food, definitely they will add salt into it. So always make it a point, whatever products you buy from across the table or across the counter, you go pick it up, please always look into it, what are the contents of it, how much is whatever the proteins or carbohydrates or sodium or everything they would have written there. Look into it and then see which one you can take and which one you are not supposed to take. This is a very, very important habit we all need to cultivate. Now on the right side here, can you see how much of sodium these food contain? When you're directly taking a table salt, that means it's automatically 100% the sodium is there. But if you're taking probably a cheese, is almost a 35 grams of cheese, what is it, 16% is there. When you're talking about bread with 50 grams of bread slice, it contains 10% of sodium. So like that, in your day-to-day food also, especially the processed food, if you are going to add on sodium into it, that means add on, it is there inside, so automatically your blood pressure will not be under control, and you will be thinking, hey, I'm not eating anything, but why is my, I'm taking my medication regularly and then still my blood pressure is not under control. So it's very, very important is what food are you eating. So please do look into, especially processed food, you have to be very, very careful, because many times as a preservative also, salt is very, very important for them to keep the food for a very long time, so they add on the salt. Now, how much of sodium do you need per day is, you need around 2 grams per day on an average. What will happen if your salt is less? What will happen? It can lead to diarrhea. Now, this you would have seen, especially in people with gastrointestinal infections. You know, when they pass diarrhea, automatically your salt also, you will have a lot of cramps and you will feel very thirsty. All this will happen because there is a less of sodium and potassium, and you would have seen doctors giving you one sachet called ORS, and you have to just open it, put it in a glass of water and drink. So what happens is automatically you will be replenished with the salt, so you will feel nice. So in same way, what will happen is, especially when the temperature outside is very, very hot, you better have to support your body with sufficient amount of salt. So you can just open up one ORS and then put it in a glass of water and drink it up. If it's a very, very hot climate, you should. And especially if you're going for trekking or jogging or walking, brisk walking for a long time, maybe 45 minutes to 1 hour, if you can add a little bit, for example, bamboo salt, 6 burn bamboo salt, you can add on half a teaspoon into 1 liter of water and then go on sipping it, especially if you're going for any sports event. It will be a fantastic way to replenish your body with the required amount of potassium, and there are at least 70 to 80 minerals in bamboo salt, so which is also good for you, because trace elements of all this will definitely help your body to become much more healthier. Now, how many of you would have seen that it does affect your kidney functions as well? Because automatically when there is a diarrhea, automatically your urine will be less because you drink less of water. So always you need to have a reserve system in your body, so that you need to have sufficient amount of water, so that in spite of you not drinking water, your body should be able to balance. So per day, average of around 3 to 3.5 liters of water if you're drinking, definitely your body will be able to balance it in case of an emergency where there is less of water, you don't get water, so automatically your body can balance it. Now what happens when there is a high salt? That means the salt intake without your knowledge, maybe if you're eating especially people, when you're eating your food outside, let me tell you, especially the restaurants, you know the amount of salt they put. They are using only the normal white salt. I don't think they'll be using bamboo salt or Himalayan salt. Maybe because of the pricing, the table salt is much cheaper when they buy, and that too even the rock salt, which is much more easier for them to just put it in a, especially when they are bulk cooking. It's much more easier to put the rock salt, which is very cheap. It's around 50 cents to 80 cents is your per kg. So now what will happen is, whether you like it or not, this white salt is already there in the, whether you're taking a sambar or you're taking any food you're eating from a restaurant, definitely the salt add on. If you're eating every day outside, automatically you're eating, definitely the salt content will be more. It can lead rise to what? It can give rise to a high blood pressure. And the first condition what the doctor will tell you is, if your blood pressure rise, reduce your salt. This is what they will tell. Because other, now once the blood pressure is high, automatically your cardiac is definitely is a problem. It is an automatic, like brothers and sisters. So if you have high blood pressure, you should expect the cardiac situation. It can be in the form of heart failure, in the form of blocks, in the form of stroke. All these can happen once you have a blood pressure. Now there is something much more very, very important. If you're taking a high salt, what will happen is your immune system goes down. This is something you should understand in today's situation with COVID around there. In spite of taking vaccination, you still get exposed to COVID. And there are a lot of people, in spite of vaccination, get COVID and they die off. Now, why is that? Because in many a situation, because of your high salt, what happens is it affects your immune system, especially the neutrophils. Now, the neutrophils are the one which will go and grab the bacteria and kill them. They are very, very important. Now, imagine if the neutrophils cannot do that, cannot go and catch the bacteria. So, automatically, a bacteria is growing inside your body, isn't it? If the bacteria is going to grow inside your body, automatically infection will be there. If the infection goes on a little more serious, automatically your chest, lungs can be affected, your intestines can be affected, your blood can be full of only organisms with septicemia, means infection all around the body. It can go to the brain and the brain can be affected. All this will be there. Why? Because your own immune system is low, then automatically it affects. Now there is something which is very, very important. Huh? If you have a high salt in your blood, now what will happen is, now one of the easiest way your body, the body is very, very intelligent. I have been repeatedly telling your body, what it will do is, it will tell the bones to release calcium, because calcium will combine with the sodium and then throw it out in the urine. So your body will be working hard to take out the sodium and throw it out in your urine. This is naturally happening, huh? So when this is naturally happening for a very long time, because of your salt, you don't even know that you're eating a lot of salt. What will happen? Your body calcium will be less, and suddenly one fine day you will just fall down and your bones will break. Why? Then you go and see the doctor, will say your body, already you have osteoporosis. What do you mean by osteoporosis? Your bone density is so less that there is no calcium inside. Unless your calcium is inside the body, then definitely you will be your bones will be very, very healthy and strong. But we need to understand that there are other situations the calcium can be thrown out of the body. There's one more area where you need to understand that when there's a lot of poison inside, like for example lead poisoning or cadmium or mercury, what will happen is your liver needs to throw all this, you can call it as detoxification. In a detoxification process, one of the important ingredient for your liver is calcium. They need calcium. Now, from where they will take calcium? You're already not taking. Of course, as an adult, you and me, we are not going to consume milk every day and then make our calcium, or not. We are not on supportive supplements. Now, in that way, you'd have heard of moringa, right? Moringa leaves, moringa capsules are available now. Now, moringa is one of the cheapest way of acquiring your calcium. That's very, very easy to get your calcium. So, unless your calcium is sufficient enough at your cell level and running in your blood, your liver will utilize it and then detoxify your body. But imagine if the calcium is less, what will happen is automatically your body will start taking out the calcium from your bone, and your bone becomes weak. Because here what will happen is, after certain age, your body cannot replenish your bones back with calcium. It won't be able to do that. Now, when it cannot do that, what will happen? Automatically, your bones will become brittle. This is where we have to be very, very careful whether it's a salt, right? So, salt is such an important ingredient, but at the same time, when it is taken more than what is necessary, what happens? It's an automatic phenomena. There are other problems it will create. So just be one is your immune system. Of course, the blood pressure is there, the cardiovascular. Imagine if your immune system is low, what will happen? Forget maybe you don't have blood pressure, it's still okay, but suddenly you will see your immune system is low, and then automatically you get infected, and then automatically once infection comes in, it becomes so serious that you need to get admitted in the hospital and then get treated. Now you will be wondering, hey, I've been so healthy all the while. Yes, you have been healthy, but problem probably, I'm just looking at probable cause, your salt content might have been a little more than it is required. So just be careful and just be alert on the intake of your salt. Now, on this planet Earth, we as human beings are the only one, as I told you, taking salt. Whereas animals don't do that. Animals take everything natural and they don't cook their food and eat. That is another uh, big advantage for the animals is when they eat raw, your vegetables or fruits or green leaves, when you eat it raw, the nutrient is definitely much higher than when you cook it and eat. That's why when you go to a lot of Chinese restaurants, they do only the steaming, or maybe they will cook only half, which is very important. 40% of your vegetables and whatever you're cooking, if it is steamed up, and then when you're going to consume that 40% cooked vegetables also, it's fantastic. It's very healthy because the nutrient is still retained. But if you're going to boil the vegetables and then finally you want to eat that, what kind of nutrition are you looking at that particular food preparation you're making? Definitely it is not a very healthy. But in our human nature, what we are doing is we are eating everything fully cooked, but we need to change. I would say the moment you're all 50 plus, what you need to do is start eating half cooked vegetables. Maybe eat a lot of raw vegetables, salads. You need to take a lot of salads, fresh fruit juices you can drink, and then you can take even raw vegetables. You need to eat raw vegetables and bitter gourd. Something not many of us would even like to do that. The small bitter gourd, it's very good if you're going to consume the bitter gourd raw. If you can munch it, grind it, and then eat it up, it's very healthy, especially for diabetics. It's very good, and nutritional value also is very high in eating a raw vegetable. Now, to augment the benefit of the salt, that means you want the salt to be benefited by your body with the required amount. You need to hydrate our cell with water. So automatically this on this platform of terahertz resonated water, we would be definitely speaking about the terahertz resonated water. Now, being wise is a choice. It is your choice actually. How wise are you? You have to decide how wise are you. If you're a wise person, definitely your aging also will be very graceful. I would say it will be a healthy aging. But you would see a lot of advertisements saying anti-aging. I always will be wondering, what are you talking? What do you mean by anti-aging? Can you stop the aging? Definitely we cannot. But if we can change it to a healthy aging, which makes sense actually. You need to be healthy, right? As you're aging is process which you and I cannot prevent it. We all have to go through it. Now, there is a lot of information available about anything and everything under the sun. And in that way, if you're talking about terahertz resonated water or emerald water or Kangen water or ionized water or hydrogen water, it's already there. Now the question is, what do you want to do? Do you want to try ionized water? Do you want to try hydrogen water? Do you want to try terahertz water? Or you just want to drink normal water, filtered water? It's up to you. You are eligible to decide what exactly do you want. You need to decide. You are the wise person under the sun, and you know what is the best for you. Do it. Now, whatever very important, this is an information. Whatever has to come to you will come to you, and whatever should go away from you will leave you and go, whether you like it or not. And nothing is permanent with you. And today we are all here on this platform to pick an information on something called terahertz and resonated water. That's why we are all here. So the ultimate goal for us should be here on this platform is we are here to basically share the knowledge. Your job is to pick the knowledge, and then automatically you need to utilize it to your best of your abilities in your journey of life. At the end of the day, you have to decide what do you want to do, You decide. Now, cellular health is the key to be healthy. It's not your organ. Organ to be healthy, your cell needs to be very, very healthy. Now, how do you go to the cellular level? One of the easiest way is you need to do your hair analysis, because hair analysis is the only way where you can go to the cellular function and then pick up the signals. It's something called bioresonance, the technology they use, and then you will be able to pick up the signals from your cells as to what they are looking for, what kind of vitamins they are deficient, what kind of amino acid deficiency, what kind of your omega-3 deficiency, whether there are any parasites, whether there are any fungus. All these can be done only through epigenetic hair analysis. You won't believe, I have seen so many adults who have done the hair test. They have a lot of, especially parasites inside their body, but they don't have any symptoms. In fact, parasites are one of the main organisms which create a lot of havoc in your body in terms of inflammation. Parasites create inflammation, fungal infection, especially women. If you are looking at, you all will have white discharge and you have white nails, and then fungal infection of your nail beds, then white patches on your face. No, there's a lot of indication that it is a fungal infection. Now, fungal infection is something opportunistic. Why it happens? When your immune system is low. Now imagine you're taking high amount of salt. High amount of salt, as I told you, it will bring down your immune system. If your immune system is low, what will happen? You're prone for infection. And one of the infection which is very, very common is fungal infection. Now, what is the reason? When you go back and see, it's because of your salt. It's connected to the salt. So here you need to understand, we need to do a, and most of us, so much so, we are used to doing a blood test. We are so happy, we'll just go pay 250 ringgit, go to the lab, and they will do the test, and then fantastically they'll give the report and say all very good. If all very good, why is it after 50 years or 60 years you get cancer, you get so many diseases? Why is that? If you're healthy, you should have been healthy all the while, right? Because they don't do the cellular health. It is basically the third stage of your system. They are checking it. Of course, only when there is a disease, your blood will show there. But there are some situation, of course, blood can show you well in advance also, but nothing like going to the root cause and then picking up some information. So in that way, you can do your bioresonance, you can do your microcirculation. Whether your circulation is good or not with your fingernail bed, we can see. Then there is something called Hunter bioresonance that is also talking about going into the cellular health. Now, what is that ideal drinking water? We all need to understand whether you're going to drink terahertz water or not, but at least you need to drink a water which is safe, potable, that means drinkable. What should be the pH? It should be around 7.5 to 8. pH is good enough. What should be the total dissolved solvent? It's called TDS. Anything between 50 to 200 is acceptable, but WHO says up to 500 they will say they accept, but I would say no. Up to 200 is reasonably good enough. You have to look at the TDS up to 200, but anything more than that, it will become more acidic. If it's around 500 and all TDS, it is more of acidic. So don't take too much of that TDS into the higher range. Better be below 200. There is something called ORP, also very, very important. If it should be minus, it should not be plus. For example, if you're talking about Pepsi, Coca-Cola and all, it will be all plus 400 to 500. That means it's very, very acidic. But you need to take more of alkaline, which is minus actually. That's where if it is minus 200 is ideal. But if you're talking minus 400, minus 600, minus 800, minus 1000, there are alkaline water, which is a pH of around 13 to 14, can give uh, ORP of around minus 1000. That's a very, very high minus your oxidation reduction potential. So if it is minus 1000, that means it can donate 1 electron of oxygen very easily to your body. Now, this is very, very important when you are having a oxidative stress. Now, how do you decide how much of oxidative stress? I would say you need to meet your doctor and get things done, so that if it is highly oxidative stress, definitely you need a very, very high ORP. So minus. But I would say it's not just the water alone. There are other ways of taking antioxidants in the form of nutritional food, and you can balance it, which can also donate 1 electron for that. And it must be very clean and free from the bacteria, viruses, and parasites, and should not contain heavy metal and chemicals and pesticides. It should not contain that. Now, these are the quality of an ideal drinking water. Now, if you're talking about all this quality and your water molecule of water molecule is between 60 to 80, it's still acceptable. It's still acceptable for you to drink the water. But for today's situation, definitely you need a much smaller molecule because we have so much of poisoning outside. We don't know how the water to enter inside. So when there is a facility available for you to take a much more smaller molecule of water, please look into it and then please take that particular water. In that way, we have terahertz water, which is almost the lowest right now available in the market is around 7.6 hertz, which is the lowest in the market. So it's good for you to consume something so small that the cellular hydration can be much easier to it. Now, when you're looking at tap water, of course, there are a lot of poison involved in it. Can you see on the right side what is the state of our terahertz company, which gives us the filter for us to, get the filtered water? So probably if it is like this, I change this particular candle every month once because I have put an external filter so the internal doesn't get blocked so easily and doesn't turn brown so easily. So in that way, you need to have a very good filtration system, one for the outside and one inside. The inside one, I think if you're having our terahertz unit, you get one free, so you can just automatically fix it. Why we need to do all this is because drinking a direct tap water and boiling it and drinking absolutely is not at all a good idea. The reason is just by boiling the water from directly from the tap and without any filters, if you're using a direct tap water, let me tell you, the only good thing about boiling the water would be is you're killing the bacteria and viruses. That is all. But how about the other things like your heavy metals? If the heavy metals are there in the water, especially the iron content very high, in Malaysia it is very, very high. So what will happen when you're going to consume that water regularly? You will definitely have kidney issues. This is something very, very important, and you can see a lot of people, they don't have blood pressure, they don't have diabetes, but they don't have any other disease, but suddenly one fine day you will see they are having some kidney issues. Why is that? Because definitely the heavy metal poisoning slowly goes and blocks your kidneys and then you land up in problem. Now, with the technology advancement, of course, terahertz is one of the latest technology. Ionized water has been there, magnetic emerald technology is there, ozonated water is there, hydrogen water also is has picked up right now, and a lot of people are talking about hydrogen water. Now the situation here I wish to let you know is hydrogen water is nothing but a concentrated hydrogen inside the water, and you have to switch on the machine to create the hydrogen, right? You have to, number one. Number two, once you create the hydrogen water, you need to drink it as soon as possible, because the moment you leave it for some time, automatically the hydrogen will be reduced in the water and then the functionality. So what happens is when you're talking about hydrogen, that means you're talking about concentrated. It is something like your ionized water, wherein when you have an ionized water of 9.5 pH, what will happen? 9.5 pH means automatically the hydrogen content also is a little high in it. Automatic it is. And when you consume that, you're supposed to consume it as soon as possible. Why do they say that? Is as soon as you consume, only when the with a lot of hydrogen molecule inside, when it goes inside your body, there's a lot of good things happening because of the hydrogen water, especially the hydrogen molecule. Now, the only disadvantage is you need to drink it immediately. You have to. Now, when you look at the natural available water, maybe I will let me tell you the Zamzam water. Okay, when you're talking about Zamzam water or a spring water or even the water from the oasis or from the fresh mountain, when it is flowing down there, when you go and catch, see what's happening is they have all the mineral content with the molecular structure very small, and when you drink it, what happens? You're not going to resonate it, right? But it becomes a structured water naturally. When there is a structured water naturally and when you're drinking it, definitely your body is very happy, and it will, when it utilizes this water, your body heals automatically. Your body heals and then your body will be able to come out of certain diseases. It's not that everybody under the sun is going to drink only terahertz water or ionized water or membrane water or ozonated or hydrogen. Not everybody is gifted to buy all this. But when you look at the natural methods, there are a lot of natural water available, and our body can balance it. But if you're gifted on this planet Earth where you can procure 1 terahertz resonated water, why not? Have a filter, proper filtration system. This is how the unit looks. And then what happens when you're going to resonate? We always say when you resonate the water or resonate any liquid, definitely the molecular structure is broken down into a smaller molecule, and then the molecule becomes stable. When the molecules are stable, what happens when you drink that molecule? Automatically it does all the natural function naturally. Stability plays a very, very important role. Now imagine if 10 human beings are going to hold the hand, hand in hand, when they are going to hand, and then when you try to pull, because of the 10 people holding on at the right levels, they will be much stronger. But imagine someone holding it very loose, and that means irregular structure of the water molecule, something like that. And the human beings also, you can just give a push, everybody will fall down. It's something like that. So your water molecule, when it is structured, automatically it's good for your body to be absorbed. And automatically when you absorb, your hydration takes place, and when hydration takes place, the nutrition exchange will take place. There are so many good benefits when you are taking a structured water. So if people are talking about structured water, you can take it for granted or take it for 100% that our terahertz resonated water is nothing but a structured water. Now, every water has got its own properties, isn't it? So in that way, our terahertz resonated water also has a very good on its own, has its properties. Now, what are the good properties? It's an antibacterial. That means any bacteria cannot grow in the water. Antiviral, virus cannot grow. Antifungal, fungus cannot grow. Because this one, I have actually treated a lot of cases by locally applying the terahertz water, and the fungal infection will never happen. It's very clean, and this is, you can be rest assured, because terahertz water is antifungal, and I have already tested already done this. So what's happening is, automatically we need to understand that these three properties are already there in the water. Now the antioxidant effect is there almost. This is the company has already tested. So when you drink, probably the molecular structure, it can donate that, because of the stability of the molecule, it can donate that one oxygen, one electron to the to your cells. That is where the antioxidant effect comes. Then comes your anti-radiation. Anti-radiation is basically, when you go on drinking this water, definitely there will be a the radiation effect from the external. Like if you're going to drink this water, and then you're probably every day exposed to sun, because of the sun rays, the radiation effect will be there. But when you're drinking this water, your cells are very well prepared and guarded, because your hydration is so good that it knows how to protect itself. So in that way, the anti-radiation. Then the low viscosity of around minus 680 is something very, very beautiful, wherein this is where your blood will become very viscous and automatically very slippery. Automatically the cells can move very easily, and that's how the benefit of the low viscosity. Then the angulation of the hydrogen molecule H2O, isn't it? Now that is increased by 5 degrees. So it can be, if it is 104, it will be up to plus 5 is around 109. So automatically when the angulation is opened up, what happens? The hardness will be reduced, and then the absorption of minerals are much better. So the absorption is 3 times more than your normal water. So that is where, if you're talking about the basal metabolic rate of your cell, is definitely much more than drinking a normal water. It's like, you want to jog and run, then your basal metabolic rate of your cell increases, right? When you do some jogging, or a brisk walking. Now what happens when you're drinking this water? Also it will just penetrate into all the cells. It's like, the cells are sleeping, they don't have water. So the water moment it goes inside your cell, it will wake them up. Hello, I have come inside, please wake up and do your job. So your cell will start functioning. If without the water there are 10 cells sleeping, the moment you drink water, automatically the 10 cells will start functioning. So imagine if there are 100 cells and 50 cells are working, and then after drinking terahertz water, if your 100 cells are going to work, what will happen? Definitely 50 cells utilizing your glucose will be less. But if 100 cells are going to utilize your glucose, you think your blood glucose will be high? Definitely not. This is where people will be telling you that after drinking terahertz water, my diabetes came down. How the diabetes can come down? How did it happen? It's all because of your extra cells starts working, and then they use the manpower is more, so automatically your this one also will be more metabolism. Now the linear arrangement, that means they all stand in one line. A structured formula is definitely better for hydration. Then it supports your telomere in the DNA. Now, this is a research what they have done in 7.83 hertz water. They have already done a lot of research on 7.83, and in that they have already seen the supporting of the telomere. Then it enhances your energy field. Then it will rewrite your information which is done in your DNA. This is what clinically has been done in the in the water where they have checked for 7.83, and it is all paper presented. Now, rewriting the information means, what I mean to say is, when you're talking about the cell, if due to whatever the reason the wrong information has been stored inside your DNA, when you're drinking this water, automatically the cell also will start hydrating itself, taking the proper nutrition, and then it will start probably thinking, okay, now I've taken all these wrong signals, now I need to correct it. So that is how it will start rewriting your signals which has been wrongly written. This is where we call it as a gene expression. So probably if you are prone for diabetes, I'm just giving you an example. If you're prone for diabetes and you're genetically you're prone, that is means it will happen. But after drinking this water, you will see that even your diabetes is not coming out, because the expression of your gene has been put a full stop. So this is where the wrong expression can be prevented when you are drinking this water. What are the main benefits? Very easy absorption, removal of toxic waste, and definitely better hydration, better absorption of nutrients. So what happens? All this better means automatically your healthy cells, better function of your cells, better control of disease. Now, this is where many of you would have seen that your blood pressure is under control. But but let me tell you one thing. If you are going to give Terra's water for 10 people with blood pressure, maybe 8 people will get the benefit of maybe lowering of blood pressure. But that ninth and 10th people, in spite of drinking Taras for maybe 4 liters to 5 liters, also still their blood pressure is not coming down. So that means to say there might be other situation. It can be genetically a predominant situation where probably you might have to take the blood pressure medication all through your life because it's genetically predisposed. It is already written in your DNA. Nobody can go and change your DNA, but you can only change your epigenetic reading. Expression can be changed. This is where the water comes in. So in that way, if you want a better control of diseases, definitely drinking sufficient amount of water, the resonated water, is better. And of course, illness to wellness is very, very important. What are the advantages of terahertz resonated water? It can be boiled, it can be put under pressure. They have already tried all these experiments, and the very important is it has to be kept in a glass container, and it can be left for a minimum period of 6 weeks. But we have already tried it for almost 1 year. It still maintains the same whatever the stability of it, and then we can drink it even after, well, 11 months we have tried it, it is fine. And of course there's a Singapore has done a good job by they have taken all the certification from there. And it is always better, if at all, if other than the jug other than the jug what the company is giving you, if you want to keep the water, resonated water, use a glass jug, or you can use mud pot, ceramic, and a food grade containers are better. Now, what you need to avoid, very important, do not, they do say that don't keep it in a metal container. Only the only reason why would they say is it's because of the molecular instability. It may create an instability. So in that way, you can keep it in a container, but not more than 2 hours. And if you're going to leave it in the container for more than 2 hours, definitely for drinking purposes, it may not be an ideal solution. But now some people will ask me, doctor, I'm going to cook rice and then it's going to be an aluminum vessel. I'm going to put the terahertz water. Now, why are you so bothered about terahertz water and then whether it's anything? What you need to understand is you need to use water, isn't it? Instead of using a normal filter water, you're using our terahertz resonated. So it won't really matter much. You're not looking at having the same quality of terrace water when you're drinking. But when you're boiling your whatever vegetables or fruits or rice in a terahertz resonated water, definitely there will be a lot of good benefits because the water molecule is already a small molecule. Definitely the benefits are good. So other than that, do not expose this water directly to sunlight in a plastic container, because that definitely, especially if you want to give a 5 liter can of water to your friend, do not leave the container exposed to the sun and then go and give it to your friend. Do not do that. As far as possible in a closed this one, and do not resonate the water, put it in this one and put it in your car. The behind thing, and so that especially when it is very very hot sun, do not leave your filled your resonated water inside your car, this. So here what is happening is, you have to, as far as possible, this is a much more easier thing, is you have to freshly prepared, drink it up. That's it. You want to leave it for a day or two is still okay. And for resonating, of course, if it is a minimum of 1 feet taller, broad containers is much more better. But ideally, the company given one is the definitely a better one. Now, who can drink the water? Definitely everybody can drink water. But if you have been drinking any other water for a very long time and you're going to try this Terrage resonated water, always start with 500 ml per day for first 1 week. Very important. 1 week, 3 days to 7 days. Just drink half liter water and move on. Unless you're a person who wants to test, okay, after 2 days, let me try another half liter, maybe 1 liter. That you have to take the risk of trying it out and exploring it, because right from day one I have been drinking absolutely half liter to 1 liter. Within 1 week I started drinking 2 liters of water, because my body, I know how it functions. But for you all out there, please allow the water to get adapted to you, and then you have to start slow and then increase it. Like day before yesterday also I had a call and they were asking, like, the person was drinking water, resonated water, then after that 7 months he didn't drink the water, then he had to go for a stenting operation, and then after stenting now he's back. Now they were asking me, can we drink this water? I said yes, can. But the only situation is you need to start with 500 ml for the first week, then 1 liter the second week, 1.5 liters the third week, and then maybe 2 liters the fourth week. So you have to consume it on a lower scale and then increase it. So increase as you go further. So those with especially diseases, please do not even look at, you drink this water, then your disease has to run off. It won't happen. But with your good thoughts, with your good feeling that this water is a blessed water for you, you're going to drink this and there a lot of healing will happen. Allow your body to heal itself on its own. So especially with diseases, you just say thank you to the water because it has come to you for you to drink, and then you start drinking the water slowly. It will give you the benefit, definitely. But by chance, after drinking a lot, maybe for 3 to 6 months, and you feel that you don't find any different, okay, what you can do, only two choice you have: either you continue drinking or discontinue and go and drink whatever you were drinking before. Absolutely nobody is going to force you. But I would say drinking this water in a long run, definitely there are a lot of cellular health benefits will be there. So better continue drinking. There's nothing wrong in it. So what message you want to take home is very, very important, is you need salt for your day-to-day activities, for your day-to-day, a lot of function you need salt. So when it is a necessity, water is also a necessity. So what you do, balance it. So what are the salt you would like to take? I would definitely let you know. Number one, Himalayan salt, which is much cheaper. You can go for it. But if you are able to, pay a little more and get a good certified bamboo salt, 6 burn, you can buy 1 kg of Himalayan salt and 200 grams of this bamboo salt. Just mix it up and start using it. It's good enough for you to get all the good benefits of the bamboo salt, as well as plus the benefits of the salt is already there with the good functioning of your kidneys, good functioning for your immune system. All this will be there. So, finally, what you need to do, love yourself, and to attain peace, augment with Terahertz water and say a lot of love towards your every cell of your body, and be thankful to every situation of your life. Like sometimes they say you have to be thankful even to the mosquito, it seems. Why mosquito sometimes bites you and gives you a dengue fever, right? It's not for that. Sometimes what we say is mosquito is something very small. So many times in our life, there are a lot of human beings who would be like an atom helping you, a grain of maybe a little bit of help. But something like little drops of rain make a mighty ocean. In the same way, little support what your fellow human beings are giving it to you is something very, very great. So with that, I think we all are doing a great job, and I think on this platform, whatever little I am giving you, whatever knowledge, take it, utilize it, and then share it with people. So with this, until I meet you the next time, thank you very much. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, George. Thank you, Madam Lee, and all the beautiful souls who are all down here to listen to this wonderful sharing. Thank you very much. We will keep in touch until next week with a new topic. Thank you.
Right.
Over
Thank
to
you,
you,
doctor.
Madam.
Yeah.
Madam Lee can't hear you.
Oh dear. I don't know, something went wrong. Something went wrong with my Zoom. 1 minute. Oh dear. Doctor, are you there? Okay, sorry, doctor. Something technical problem. Can you hear me, doctor? Hello. Hello. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, doctor. Thank you so much. So far, I think there's no questions. Wow. So just now, doctor mentioned there are so many different types of salts. Are you aware of it? I think for me, I only know about a few of them. Doctor has mentioned so many, more than 10 types. And animals don't eat salt separately. Really. Now we are get to know that. And how to know your cellular health? Do an epigenetic hair root analysis. Yeah, you can make an appointment with Dr. Prabhu if you are interested. He could be contacted with this number 012 666 5486. Golden Hands Epigenetic Solutions Clinic. He's the BioVibes and epigenetic analyst. So I'm sure he will be able to help us. Okay. So I think so far. Oh, somebody said, can doctor repeat the type of salts and the ratio? I think that you can refer back to doctor's tonight's Zoom. Okay, Zane. And so far. Doctor, Mary is asking, the lowest pH for Kangen water is 8.5. Is it okay to drink?
Recording in progress.
Okay. Okay. Doctor, can you hear me?
Now only I can hear you. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
All the while I can't hear you.
There's only one question. This Mary is asking about the Kangen water 8.5.
Yeah, 8.5 pH is ideal one.
It's ideal. Okay. Mary, there's the answer from doctor. And he said, can our, Lawrence asking, can our machine energize alkaline water?
Yeah, can resonate what? It can resonate any water. It doesn't matter whether you get it from Kangen or whether you're talking about hydrogen water. Any water can be resonated. The only situation is if it is a high alkaline like 9.5 pH. When you Because you're going to change the molecular structure, right? Definitely you need to drink it as soon as possible. That is always there. Because higher the alkalinity, faster you need to drink.
Okay. So I think there's no other questions coming up. Yeah.
I think there is some problem, lah.
So, you say this Rosalie is asking if the outdoor filter tap water is scanned, then boil, can it be considered drinking? Can it be used for drinking and cooking? What do you think, doctor? Oh dear. Okay, I think, doctor, we'll end it here. I can't see any. Shireen, are you there, Shireen? Oh, Brian? Hi, Brian. Hello?
I think doctor offline already. His line is not so good.
Okay, I think I'm so sorry to everyone for tonight's some technical problem. So I think tonight we'll end it here. Thank you. Good night.
Thanks, Teresa.
Thank you, Brian.